Edmonton Stingers and Montreal Lions are about to go head-to-head. My name is Sarah Ryan, and tonight is shaping up to be a battle of two teams who have struggled at this point in the season, losing the majority of their games so far. Both teams did play on Saturday, and each team respectively lost, so they're coming into this one with something to prove. Now, earlier this month, when the Stingers and Alliance faced off, the Stingers came away with a decisive 20-point victory. Will that be the case today? Let's see what our analysts think. Over now to Doug McLean and Kira Lyons.
Thank you, Sarah. And yeah, I think Sarah makes a really good point, Kira. The fact these are two teams coming off 18-point losses and 17-point losses. Both teams want to get going a little bit here. We're nearing the midway point of the season. It's time for Montreal and Edmonton to crank it up.
Yeah, I'm really interested in this matchup. Like you said, they're both coming off losses, and like for Edmonton, I really think this is a huge statement game. Saturday was very uncharacteristic in my opinion, or from the Stingers that I've been used to watching. So I'm excited to see the character that they show and how they bounce back from that. And then, yeah, I think Montreal has something to prove as well.
Take a look at some of the numbers in tonight's game. A couple of things will stand out. Neither team scores overly efficiently. And the other number that we'll maybe watch over the course of the evening, 62% free throw shooting team, the Montreal Alliance.
Yeah, both defensively suppressive, as you said earlier, and so lots of focus there, I think, but it seems like their offense can kind of disappear, and I think for Montreal, they're still trying to find their identity now without Freeman Liberty, and Stingers, same thing, lots of changes in their lineup, adding new guys, and just figuring out how to play together, finding their rhythm, but it's that time in the season where things really need to start coming together, and regardless of how the results play out tonight, like I think both teams just need to show up and play some good, hard, unselfish basketball.
We're moments away from tip-off here between the Edmonton Stingers and the Montreal Alliance. We will step out and bring back with head coach Jordan Baker. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gym, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Welcome to a new CEBL season.
It's been amazing, Canada basketball, for that platform and give guys an out.
The crowds were bigger, the players got better, the quality of the game got better.
You gotta love it, Canadian hoops.
Fasten your seatbelt tonight because we're gonna have some high energy and some high flying stuff.
This is the trail, this is the real, and all that I gotta say. I'm in my zone.
No shortage of emotion, no shortage of intensity as anticipated.
Sliding away. What a block from behind.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun, or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
I'm here with Stingers head coach Jordan Baker. Coach, you played Montreal just over a week ago, came away with quite a decisive win. Did you just reuse the same game plan for this game?
They've got a few guys that have been activated since we saw them last, so they're going to be a little bit of a different team. They've also got a couple of wins since then, so we're not walking into anything thinking it's going to be a repeat. We've done our job watching film, we've done our job preparing our guys, so hopefully we come out ready to play.
They have the league leader in block shots with Michael Hughes. Does that change where you look to shoot from tonight?
Just throw it higher to Isaiah Moore.
He's a little bit taller, eh?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good wingspan. He puts pressure on the rim. They want to bring a second guy to help in, then we'll spray it out and hit some shots.
Speaking of Isaiah Moore, him and Scotty Lindsay both had 2 technicals last game, got into a bit of trouble with that. How do you look to ensure that doesn't happen again tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we've had conversations with both those guys. You know, they understand the expectations. They understand the mental toughness that comes with needing to win basketball games. So I'm not worried about them tonight at all.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you, Doug, Kira.
Thanks, Sarah and Jordan. And Kira, let's jump into some of your keys to the game. Let's start, and these are presented by CDIC. So let's first get to those for the Montreal Alliance.
Yeah, the first one I have is share the ball. You know, with the loss of Freeman Liberty and they, already struggling to find that offense, just getting everybody involved, sharing the ball, hunting for that best shot, not trying to do too much ISO and playing that slow. They need to generate some offense, which plays kind of right into the second one, play with pace. They have a hard time with possessions. I think one of the least few in the league. So play with pace. Give yourselves an opportunity to score more, and that going right into the rebounding battle. Get yourself some second opportunities by crashing the glass really hard and rebounding the ball.
And now let's look at those for the Edmonton Stingers, also presented by CDIC.
Yeah, I think after the game on Saturday, the number one for me is just control what you can control. What the refs are calling, any sort of talk that's coming from the other side, just making sure that you're controlling the controllables and taking care of the things on your own side. Shot selection is another one. I feel like they struggled in big moments in that game, just settling for things that they shouldn't normally settle, and then communicating. I think we talked about it's this time in the league, they should be getting to know each other. They need to start finding a rhythm. One of the best ways to build trust and find that rhythm together is to be talking on defense and just talking in general.
Now let's get to the starting lineups here at the Edmonton EXPO Center. First for the visiting Montreal Alliance, they will go with Kevin Asawe, Michael Hughes the second, Quincy Guerrier, Lou Williams the third, and Ant Nelson we've mentioned. Javon Freeman Liberty not on the roster for the Montreal Alliance. We'll talk about that through the night. He leads them in multiple categories statistically. For the Edmonton Stingers, they will go with Isaiah Moore, Trey King, Tay Donald, Emmanuel Bandamel, and Scotty Lindsay. And Kira, now let's look at your players to the game, players to watch, I should say, for each team. Let's start with Davian Warren from the Montreal Alliance.
Yeah, I picked Davian Warren, because he's a Stinger, or he used to be a Stinger. He's played here in Edmonton, so being back and playing against his former team, I think, brings a little bit of an energy in itself. And he's also their second leading scorer after Freeman Liberty. And I think because they're going to be looking for a little bit of this new offensive identity, he's got to find a way to contribute offensively without forcing it, without playing that ISO game, still hunting for the best shot, but being their biggest offensive threat.
Davian Warren, as you mentioned, Kira, 2 years ago with the Edmonton Stingers, averaged about 14.5 points a game, 5.4 rebounds a game. Started this year with the Winnipeg Sea-Bears, averaging a little over 11.5 before being released and moving over to the Montreal Alliance. Now, let's look at your player to watch for the Edmonton Stingers. It's Scotty Lindsay.
Yeah, and Scotty, tough night on Saturday, got ejected from the double tech, and so that's kind of just the epitome of how I feel with this game. Like, showing his professionalism, having a really good game after that, like rebounding after not the best showing. He's somebody that can knock down big shots, be a really wonderful offensive presence for the Stingers, and again, just like the Montreal Alliance, they tend to struggle offensively at times. So I'm excited to see him play tonight and bounce back after that loss on Saturday.
Scotty Lindsay making his 5th appearance this season for the Edmonton Stingers, averaging almost 30 minutes, averaging just under 17 minutes a game. So easing his way back into the lineup is Jordan Baker. About a minute and a half from tip-off here as you take a look at some of the numbers for both Davian Warren and Scotty Lindsay. Scotty Lindsay, you mentioned, Kira, the tough middle portion of the game with the 2 technicals, but had a really hot start, shot the ball extremely well from long range. He leads the league right now in three-point percentage, just under 59%. Not sure he can keep that up, but that three-point shooting's been a nice addition for Jordan Baker and the Stingers.
Yeah, it opens things up so nicely, and I think also like his field goal percentage being 63%, obviously his shot selection has been quite good. So I think that's something, again, on Saturday that the Stingers struggled with a little bit at times, especially kind of down the stretch. Early and then down the stretch as well. And when he's feeling it, he's a really good shooter, smart player. So I'm excited to see his performance tonight.
And certainly a player that, for them, it's, again, a nice addition. You've got Nick Hornsby coming back. We mentioned about the fact that that Swiss Army knife type player, can do so many things for you. Scotty Lindsay, a little bit of that style player too, just can bring some stability to this lineup. And not suggesting it's been a chaotic season, but I think adding a little bit of that stability and consistency can probably go a long ways for the Stingers to get back where they want to be.
Definitely, and I think a lot of teams feel that way. Like the beginning of the season for the CEBL is so, I mean, like chaotic. There's guys coming in and out. You're not sure that you're going to have your full roster until, you know, quite a bit later into the season. So you just sort of have to survive the beginning. And then once you sort of have that stable roster and the guys that are going to be in your jersey for the rest of the season, I think that rhythm just comes a lot easier. And once they get to know each other, that communication, that trust, and those relationships build, and I think that shows on the court.
13 points for Scotty Lindsay on Saturday in that loss. Tip-off moments away. Tip-off is presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL. There you see crew chief Perry Stothert about to get this ball game underway here from the EXPO Center in Edmonton on what has been a rainy day in the capital city. Moore and Hughes tip it off. We're underway. Hughes gets the ball right back and finishes with a nice reverse layup to get the Alliance on the board early. Bandamel guarded there by Nelson. Lindsay to his left. Up top, Moore. Bit of a hitch in that three. I think the ball slipped out of his hands. You can tell he's just trying to dry his hands off.
No, he's trying to let everybody know that his hands are wet. That's why he's
Here's Hughes, kick out. Now reversed up top. A little strong on that three from Lou Williams. And here's Bandamel. It's a screen from Moore to his right. Bandamel, soft touch off the window, and Isaiah Moore follows it up with the putback.
There we go, back to balance, back to even.
Guerrier gets his own rebound, able to pop it home.
That was a really nice block there by Lindsay.
Certainly a player to watch with Freeman Liberty not on this Montreal roster. Gary had a double-double against the Stingers in that game less than 2 weeks ago. 16 points, 10 rebounds. Scotty Lindsay short on that three ball, kept alive. Nice job initially by Bandamel, and he's the recipient at the end. Step back jumper, drains it. For two teams, Stingers 8th in the league in scoring, just under 90 points a game. The Alliance last at 86 a game. It's been a nice offensive start for both teams. Ball nearly lost. Hughes, the nice feed from Lou Williams, stuffs it. 6-4 Montreal. Bandamel, quick look at a three, and that one goes for Emmanuel Bandamel. 36% three-point shooter so far this year. Leads this team in three-point attempts, just under 5 a game. Williams finds Guerrier. He's got mismatch with Donald. Help there from Moore. Guerrier takes some contact, no call. Quickly up ahead, 2-on-1 for the Stingers. Bandamel, bounce pass inside. King has to reset. Steps through, finds Donald cutting through, and a nice finish with the left hand by Tay Donald.
I love the creativity close to the rim by Donald. Like when you're undersized like that, you got to be able to get creative, to be able to finish, and I always enjoy his takes.
Lions head coach Jermaine Small urging his team to get moving, pick the pace up a little bit. Guerrier three, that one's too strong. Rebound Lindsay. Lindsay, look inside, turns the ball over, and quickly up the floor. Here's Williams, layup good. You might have heard that through the microphone. Ant pace, just to repeat it for you from Jermaine Small, if he hadn't made his point clear earlier.
Wait a second, was that one of my keys to the game?
I think he
it
might have, yeah.
have been. Is he reading my stuff?
Might be. Steal and back up the floor. Here's Sawway. Three rattles in for Kevin Asawe, 36% shooter. Montreal does not shoot a ton of threes, 32% when they do. Tay Donald short on that jumper. Ball kept alive. Now here is Nelson trying to push it up the floor as his coach was wanting. Williams. Free rebound, Guerrier. 9 on the shot clock. Here's Nelson. Guarded by King. Nice spin to his left. Nice soft touch off the back iron.
13 points with 5.5 minutes left. Not the defense you want starting.
It's a quick 7-0 run here for the Alliance, that they trailed by 3. Moore goes left on that 3. Now here's Nelson. Stops at the free throw line. Finds Asawe. Nice steal there by Hughes. Corner, Nelson, nice look with the left hand. Asawe spins, gets underneath, and ball drops. And he'll head to the line for a chance at a 3-point play. Good footwork there inside by Kevin Asawe. I'm not mistaken, that's our first whistle of this game. That was
wow, yeah, that's very
quick
true.
pace
No wonder
to
it was
this one.
looking a little bit not quite as clunky as Saturday, but not nearly as smooth as I was hoping. But that makes sense. That was a bit of a track meet.
Multiple subs into the game. Kishan Barthelemy, as well as Guillaume Boucard into the game for the Alliance. Nick Hornsby, Baz Davis, and Mike Nuga check in for Edmonton. And there's our first foul of the game. And that will go on. They've given it to Trey King, but I think it's on Asawe.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Yeah, definitely on Montreal. So anyway, just
foul.
announced in the building is King, but it is Asawe's first, team's first. Davis to his left. Moore, pull-up jumper at the free throw line. Short. Rebound, Hughes. Davian Warren, here's player to watch for the Alliance into the game for the first time. Hughes goes right at Moore, bodies him hard, and then creates space and lays it home.
Hughes is a problem right now.
It's an 11-0 run right now for Montreal. Moore, open 3, that one goes. That's a big shot for Edmonton. They needed that to just get a little life back in the offense.
Yeah, that one needed to go in.
Warren, nearly stolen by Moore. Hughes gets it back to Warren, right down the middle. Boucard gathers it, does a nice job to not step on the head of Nick Hornsby, who was prone right underneath the rim. Davis lobs it up for Moore, and he's fouled from behind by Lou Williams. Good little two-man game there by Davis and Moore. And with that, 19-12, the Alliance up on the Edmonton Stingers. 3:52 to go here in the opening quarter. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying...
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
Welcome back inside the Expo Center. Alliance 19, Stingers 12. Now, one of the Alliance players might be more familiar with the Expo Center than the rest. Davian Warren, no stranger to Edmonton. He played 15 games for the Stingers back in 2024, putting up some impressive numbers. He was averaging more than 14 points a game and nearly 5 rebounds. He also had 22 steals that season. After leading the Stingers, Warren played in Mongolia, where he was averaging 26 points a game and 4 steals, earning the title of the league's best international player. He started this season with the Winnipeg Sea Bears, and this is his 5th game suiting up with the Alliance. Not a ton of former teammates remain on the Stingers, but I'm sure Mike Nuga, Tate Donald, Aaron Rooms, and Nick Hornsby will be giving their teammates the lowdown on how to defend against Warren.
Yeah, Davian Warren, certainly a player that's good pedigree. Obviously, Sarah mentioned his great experience in Mongolia last year. Played his college basketball at Texas Tech. As part of their run to the Sweet 16 back in 2022. Isaiah Moore leads this team in free throws made and attempted, hits his first. We mentioned Perry Stothard, the crew chief, tonight, and the umpires in tonight's game, Karen Lasuk and Karan Lewis. And this Western Conference game is presented by Cal Tire. Isaac Jack checks in for Edmonton, as does Jalen Anderson for the Alliance. He's got the ball now with Davis on him. Gets it back from Hughes. Tops at the elbow. Warren will step back with Isaac Jack guarding him. Now they go with Warren on Jack. Cut off by Davis. Good strip there. But the ball rolls out of bounds. It will be Montreal ball. Follow at CEB League on all social platforms to stay up to date on stats, storylines, and more for all teams, all 10 teams in Canada's Pro Basketball League. And now we've got a battle going between Jermaine Small and Jordan Baker, both determining if they're over the coach, out of the coaches' boxes. Jermaine Small requesting a warning for Jordan Baker, with a big smile on his face. Of course, those two won 2 CEBL championships together. Small as head coach, Jordan Baker is one of his key players. Warren with the ball. Ricard, well defended. Good close-up by Hornsby. That one off the glass and in. Even Hornsby's like, hey, not much more I can do on that one.
That was a great contest. And the fact that he got that shot off, let alone put it in, was impressive.
A foul here as Jack tried to hand the ball back to Davis. That will go on Davian Warren. Guerrier will check into the game for Hughes II. And Mike Nuga into the game will inbound the ball for Edmonton. Here's Nuga. Lindsay inside to Hornsby. Spins baseline, but it's going to be a travel on Nick Hornsby. (22-14) the Alliance up on the Stingers. Alliance in the middle of a 16-5 run right now. He's built up his lead. Barthélemy, good take, doesn't go. Rebound, kicked out. Here nearly turned it over, but it gets it back. Here's Boucard, guarded by Jack to his left. Tries to get underneath Jack, and that's going to be a travel. Good job there by Isaac Jack just to keep his feet set. Boucard's going to beat him. He's going to have to work his way underneath.
Yeah, Isaac Jack, every time he comes in, you know what you're going to get from him. He's consistent, he talks. I feel like I gas him up whenever he gets onto the floor, but I really enjoy him in a Stingers jersey. He works hard.
I keep saying his minutes just steadily rising. There's a nice find to Hornsby. And he'll be fouled from behind. I think this will be on the ground, so Stingers to inbound from the baseline. Foul goes on Jalen Anderson. That's his first. Cal Tire, proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com.
Might have to steal that inbounds play. Liked that one.
Out of that inbounds play, the Stingers cut the lead, the Alliance lead to 6. But it's quickly back up to 8. Nice take there by Jalen Anderson in traffic. Davis to his left. Probes, kicks it back out. Hornsby tries to find Nuga going back door. Now Hornsby, nice little feed, creates space for Isaac Jack, but he can't finish the layup with the left hand. Bukar up the floor, runs right into Hornsby, and that's going to be an offensive foul charge drawn by the Stinger vet.
We talked a little bit about this last game with Hornsby's return, but he is so smart. And I mean, that one I don't know that I'd give it to him, but he took that right in the chest. But one of my favorite things about his style of play and what he brings was their last offensive possession. He's always manipulated the defense, and if there's any advantage, especially if it's like a 2-on-1, like he knows exactly how to attack and the angles to use to just manipulate him and drop it off for somebody wide open. And I love watching his pace and his style.
Big addition for the Stingers having him back in the line, as is this man, Scotty Lindsay. Here talked about him in the opening. Finds Trey King quickly up the floor and the reverse layup by King. Barthélemy. And Anderson stepped on the sideline. So it will be Edmonton ball. Nelson and Williams III about to check in for Warren and Anderson.
The defensive intensity is starting to creep back in for the Stingers. There's just an energy. And I don't know if it's the start of the games or what it is, but it tends to lack at the beginning, and then they have lineups and players that they put on the floor that just always end up bringing that for them. So it's nice to see it come a little bit alive in this first quarter.
Trey King, back-to-back buckets with that pull-up jumper. Nelson. Little pocket pass to Guerrier, and again, the nice touch. The Alliance certainly comfortable with these rims here at the Expo Center tonight. King has to push up the floor to Nuga. Quick
nice
handoff to Davis, who sprinted to gather it. Isaac Jack finds it. Rebound, puts it home with the left hand.
I don't think he was gonna let himself miss a second one. A nice gift from his teammates.
You can tell he's a little frustrated with himself. I think missing those couple layups, but like you said, good battle to get the board and put it home.
And really good job. Like, he initiated contact super early, just put himself in a weird spot under the rim. But
Nelson, Guerrier, that same play, that little pass to the free throw line. Deflected up quickly. Jack will gather the rebound, and that is where things will end. Through 10 minutes of play, hot start offensively. Montreal able to carry the momentum, and then Edmonton started to slow things down a little bit for the Alliance as that quarter went on. 26-22, the Alliance up on the Stingers. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
When Crystal Glass introduced our residential window line this past year, it was essential to manufacture them locally.
Crystal Glass has always been a proudly Canadian company.
We employ Canadians, we serve Canadians, and we are Canadians. So you know our windows are designed and built for our climate.
And since we've been the clear choice for glass for over 75 years, you can trust our quality and service.
Visit one of our over 50 locations across Western Canada or at crystalglass.ca. Financing is now available.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes. Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian boost. Two hands. Oh, what a block.
Welcome back inside the Edmonton EXPO Center. After one quarter of play, it is the Montreal Alliance up on the Edmonton Stingers 26-22. Doug McLean alongside Sarah Ryan and Kira Lyons. So we bring this one to you. And Kira, you mentioned again that slower start for the Stingers. In that game a couple weeks ago against Montreal, they trailed 41-32. And then went on a 66-37 run, if you call it a run, but they really blew the doors off later in the game. So to your point, the Stingers do seem to start games. It takes a bit of momentum, a bit of time to build some momentum, and then they can get rolling. So we'll see if they can mirror that here tonight like they did a couple weeks back in Montreal. All the flex out, here's Davis. Goes right at the rim, and the left hand sees it fall.
That's definitely something they need to work on as well. Like, teams are too good to always be fighting back, from a deficit, and it's a defeating thing. You can run out of energy in close games, and the Stingers have had lots of really close games this year too, right? So they need to be able to come out in that first quarter right off the bat with the energy that they want to play the game with, and be able to set the tone.
There's a good read again. Davis just using his eyes to create some space for himself from the right hand. Reverse layup goes. Yes, 3 of the Stingers' losses by a combined 5 points. And the 2 bigger losses to the Bandits and the one Saturday against Scarborough. Aaron Rooms checks into the game. Did not play on Saturday. Runs the floor. Fouled there by Davis. Lost the hand a little bit going up.
Oh, that was almost so beautiful. What a pass.
Great look by Davis. Williams in the corner. 3 doesn't go. Rebound. Johnson into the game for the first time, and he'll get the foul. I think the hit to the head. Trent Johnson, his first pro experience, is with the Alliance, and he will head to the free throw line. Some of the New Era, the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL and all 10 of its teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jerseys now by visiting cebl.ca. Kira, when you take a look at some of the numbers from the opening quarter, anything stand out to you? Both teams shoot the ball relatively well, 47% for the Stingers, 55% for Montreal.
Yeah, nothing really sticks out. I mean, it's a tie game right now, so it makes sense that these would be pretty even. I was interested in the offensive rebounds. Area has 3, Quincy area has 3 O boards already. But like the totals are all pretty similar, so nothing crazy.
Johnson misses both, and fans are happy because they win some free food on the way out. So then they get to cheer Tay Donald 3. That's pretty nice 30 seconds for the fans. Nelson guarded by Donald. Nelson tried to find Hughes underneath, and that ball sails out of bounds. Barthélemy will check in. Timeout called by Montreal. (29-26), the Stingers now up on the Alliance. We will pause. From here in Edmonton, you're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
All right, sticks in the middle.
Can I join you guys? All right, let's go.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers, writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
I'm here with Joel Anthony, the general manager of the Montreal Alliance. Joel, this is now your 5th season as GM. Talk to me a little bit about how you use your amazing NBA experience in this role.
Been definitely fortunate for where I've been able to play before that. Definitely just try to tap into different people that I've been able to meet, whether it's coaches, executives, agents. But it's taken a lot. It hasn't just been my professional experience. I've had a lot of help from people within our league that have helped me throughout this process. So it's been a continuous growing and learning process for me as well.
Talk to me about your team this year. Obviously, probably not where you want to be in the standings, but what do you like about what you're seeing?
Well, one of the things I like is in terms of how our team's been able to respond and deal with adversity. We had a really tough loss in our last game, and for them to be able to come back now and against a team that actually did beat them pretty well at home, they responded with a really strong showing so far. So I'm happy with the type of resilience and adversity that they've shown, because that's the type of character that we're going to need to be able to finish out the season strong.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Joel. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Back to you, Doug, Kira.
Thanks, Sarah and Joel.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Of course, an outstanding NBA career with the Miami Heat, winning 2 NBA titles with the Heat before moving on to play with the Boston Celtics, Detroit Pistons, as well as the San Antonio Spurs. And as you said, great to have that experience you can bring into this league. And we've certainly seen that in Kira. You've said, obviously, having coached in this league, the level of skill and awareness and experience that this league has brought to itself has certainly been a big part of its success in the last many years.
One thing I think about often too is obviously the level of basketball has gotten better, the level of athlete, all of those things, but it's on every level, especially here in Edmonton, getting to see it evolve from year one until now, the stadium, the crowd, the entertainment, the swarm, the dancers, everything that's involved. Every year it just seems to get better and bigger, and that starts on so many different levels. So it's been really wonderful to see it in general.
As Moore picks up the foul. That's his first personal. Jumper from just outside the elbow was good for Keyshawn Barthélemy. The Lions are back in front by 1. Here's Donald. Corner, Bandamel 3. A little bit strong. Rebound, Donald gets it right back to Bandamel. Shot fake. Kicks it out. Lindsay from the wing. 3 in and out. Good offensive rebound there by Moore. Hughes will pick up the foul. Guillaume Boucard will check into the game for Michael Hughes.
Nice to see some offensive rebounding by the Stingers.
Here's Moore. Here's right. Good control in the air. Had Gary backing up. Able to kiss it off the glass and in. Back and forth we go. Stingers up by 1. Gary back to Warren. Hornsby's former teammate strips it from him. And then it gets turned right back over. Boucard puts it up. Some contact there, no call, and Lindsay's up the floor. Bandamel, quick look at a 3 with Moore underneath. Doesn't fall. Donald gets the offensive board. Bounce pass to Lindsay. Lobs it up. Moore, I don't think was quite expecting that lob to be coming his way. As those two have a quick chat, and now they're going to discuss whose ball it is. It's going to be Montreal basketball.
It's one of the keys that we talked about in the beginning for the Stingers was communication, and there are lineups that just go absolutely silent on this roster, and this one I think is guilty of it, and it just leads to some easy baskets, some miscommunications or no communication, so there's no help or like whatever they're trying to do, but they're doing it by themselves a lot of the time because they don't talk to each other enough.
Nathan Chimanga checks into the game for Montreal, his 4th appearance of the season. He's added back to the roster prior to this game. Long 3 for Anderson, in and out, rebound Guillaume Boucard. Barthélemy, 3 doesn't go. Boucard, offensive rebound and the putback. Good work on the offensive glass right now by Montreal. Second chance points, fairly even. 10-8 in favor of the Stingers. Hornsby, cross court, Lindsay, 3, will not drop. Up the floor, Warren. And the foul is going to go on Tay Donald. And Davian Warren will head to the free throw line.
One of the most, I think one of the most infuriating things as a coach is when you have players that don't offensively rebound, but then also aren't getting back on defense, so they kind of just hang out in no man's land. There's been a few long rebounds that the Stingers could have went and got and didn't come up with because they're just kind of standing in no man's land, and in that one, standing in no man's land, and there was somebody leaking from Montreal that they now had an opportunity in transition. Like there has to be that level of intensity and desire and focus to do the hard jobs that I just don't know that they're doing right now consistently enough.
And as you mentioned earlier, I mean, just some of the rotations in the Stingers still, I mean, we're still relatively early in the season. Some new players have been added. You're still trying to figure out how you're going to use your rotation, but is that part of it? Is just the fact that they're still getting used to each other? Does that affect those kind of situations where players are getting caught a little bit in no man's land?
Yeah, I think so, and I think like not knowing maybe what your role is, or just not having the confidence in that because it's a new situation. But like there are lots of things that you can do to speed up that process, and talking on defense is such a huge one, right? And building those relationships with your teammates and building trust. But those things need to start happening as well, and then I do think the other things kind of start to take care of themselves because it becomes a lot more team first and unselfish basketball, and you're willing to do the hard things because you know that your teammates are going to do them for you. And yeah, I think the day just there needs to be that desire and a bit of a switch with the Stingers right now.
Jalen Anderson called for the travel. Jordan Baker calls a timeout. 4:37 to go here in the first half. 34-31. The Alliance up on the Stingers. Lotto Max now gives you even more chances to win with new prizes of $100,000 every draw. Get your Lotto Max ticket now. Must be 18 plus. The Montreal Alliance, not a team that shoots the long ball a ton. They are 2 of 12 tonight. Stingers are 3 of 12. This has not been a clinic from long range by either team.
Been a side of the backboard, the actual side of the backboard. There's been some interesting ones.
But for the Alliance, I mean, they shoot only 22.5 threes a game. That is 6 less than the next closest team, Ottawa, who are 9th.
I think there are guys in the league that shoot.
Well, I was going to say there might be. So you don't see a lot of teams like that. And again, every game can be a different situation and how you're scheming, a matchup. But you don't see a lot of teams that shoot that low a number of threes anymore.
Yeah, the three-point line is such a massive part of the game. It trends the opposite direction, where I feel like there's way more threes than there ever has been. Obviously the Steph Curry generation completely changed the way that the game is played, but you're right, I haven't seen that few threes in many programs. It's an interesting stat, and I wonder how it'll kind of play out as the year progresses. If that's just something that maybe they don't have a whole lot of confidence in it right now because they haven't been hitting, so they're looking for something else, or if that's just kind of the way that they are structured. Maybe they don't have a whole lot of really good shooters out there, and got to go from the inside out.
Scotty Lindsay with the offensive foul for the push, trying to gather that offensive rebound. Just to close the thought on the three-point shooting for Montreal in their last 5 games. I mean, they don't shoot a lot. They haven't shot it overly well. 27%, 17%, 30%, 25%. They did shoot 59% in a win over Brampton. That's the one exception. So They don't shoot a ton, and they have not shot it well, and that's kind of followed here tonight.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'd be telling them not to shoot that much if they're shooting 17%. Get a better shot.
Jalen Anderson with a good shot off the window and in. Oh, and there's Trey King. Lost the handle, almost ended up at his hip, but he's able to will it up and over the rim and in, and he will draw the foul and head to the line for a chance at 3.
I wish I could have seen, yeah, Coach Small calling for a travel on his take, I think, on the wing, so I'm interested to see how if that's true or not. Yeah, he might have.
I think it's just a little push. David Warren underneath gets a little bit of a push on the hip, I think is the call, but yeah, you don't get a great look at it there because it was on his right side, but Trey King did a great job to get that shot up. Now heads to the free throw line, 75% free throw shooter. Montreal will come up with the basketball. Up by 3 with under 4 to go here in the second quarter. Doug McLean, Kira Lyons, and Sarah Ryan on the call here from the Edmonton Expo Center. Jalen Anderson, another jumper. He's having a nice first half. He's got 6.
That was very smooth.
Davis creates some space. Isaac Jack inside of the offensive board. Put back doesn't go, rips it away, and then comes back again with the left hand and finishes. The work of Isaac Jack becoming more impactful game to game.
I love it. He works so hard. Like, that was 1v4 in there and somehow still came out with it.
Barthélemy jumper goes. I think we don't see a lot as a mid-range game, and we're seeing it in spades tonight for the Alliance.
Getting midi to death right now.
Donald picks it out. King, Guerrier on him, puts the ball on the floor. Steps back just inside the arc. That one a little bit strong. Rebound Bukar, and Guerrier leaks out in behind King. Can't have that happen. No. And dunks it home, and then takes some contact. No foul. I didn't get it. It was kind of blocked by a combination of officials and players, and he went down. Guerrier did, and immediately grabbed his right knee.
Yeah, there was some. It hyperextended on him on the landing. There was definitely that contact in the air, but then when he came down, it definitely hyperextended.
Training staff out to look at Quincy Guerrier, the Montreal native. Played it college basketball at Illinois, Oregon, Syracuse. And he is back up on his feet, which is a good sign.
I'm so relieved because I don't even want to watch the replay. It's going to make me lightheaded.
Kira's turning away from our monitor. Yeah, he just sort of hung on the rim, and again, I don't think there was a little bit of contact. I thought there might have been a call because, of course, you're always protecting players on or around the rim. But not a lot of contact there, but it looks like Guerrier is okay. He's standing up at the bench, just kind of stretching that knee out. So that's a really good sign.
Very relieving. I was ill to my stomach there for a minute.
Member of the All-Canadian team last year in the CEBL. Isaac Jack, again, just struggling in tight with those finishes, but he's getting the looks, so that's a positive sign for Jack. And defensively alters that shot, and Hornsby collects the board and is back up the floor. Finds Nuga momentarily, but Boucard does a nice job to step in, and now the Alliance turn it up themselves. They had some success in transition against the Stingers a couple of weeks ago, which led to that lead in the early part of that ball game. And Edmonton turned the table, started running on Montreal. Long rebound, Barthélemy gets his own back. Carr inside against Hornsby. Williams. Donald flies by, and then Williams knocks down the 3. Just a 26% three-point shooter, and Jordan Baker wants to call timeout. It's now a 10-point Montreal advantage. And that's been another thing for the Stingers at times. The end of quarters, it seems to get away from them. And something I've always said, whether I've been coaching or broadcasting, you get those moments in the last 2 minutes, you might be up 3, down 3. You want to either build on that lead or don't let it explode on you if you're trailing, and that can send you to the break in a bit of a foul move.
Yeah, and yeah, those momentum minutes at the end and the beginning of of quarters are definitely important. It's something that we talk about at Nate all the time. You don't want to go into a quarter, into a half with a buzzer beater, with a really bad defensive run, or a drought in scoring. I mean, again, sometimes you're going to miss. Like, that was a great look for Isaac Jack, who just ended up missing. But the good news is it was a great look. But you have to be able to get stops if that's going to be the case. And they're just having a hard time keeping the ball in front and communicating through.
We're a minute and 47 seconds away from half. And coming up at the break, we'll have a CEBL feature on Montreal's Ben Stevens. He's just a guy from Halifax. Sarah will interview Montreal head coach Jermaine Small. We'll look at the first half numbers. We'll also go back and review Kira's players to watch.
I was just in the Stingers huddle, and Coach Baker telling his team they need to calm down. He is not a fan of the turnovers that are happening. He feels they're rushing, they're getting the ball, and they're giving it away just as fast. Also, the assistant coach on them to be on the boards. Can't afford to give up any more off the glass.
Turnover numbers have been an issue for the Stingers all season long. 6 committed tonight, but the problem is it's led to 10 Montreal points. So when they're turning it over, it's going the other way. Short on that 3 is Davis, and then up the floor again. Williams right at Nuga. Takes the contact, puts it home. 12-point Montreal lead. Stingers 9th in the CEBL, giving up 15.4 turnovers a game. Isaac Jack with the offensive board and the putback. A minute to go here in the second quarter. And there's Davis Jr. from behind. His momentum carried him right through Keyshawn Barthélemy. And Barthélemy will head to the free throw line. Barthélemy's first free throws of the year. Spent this past season playing in Cyprus with Proteas. Hits the second. 14 points a game in the Cypriot League. Hornsby finds King, pull-up jumper from the free throw. That one well short. Nothing going right now for the Stingers. Barthélemy guarded by Boursier into the game for the first time. Zips it over to Anderson. 3 short. Rebound bounces into the hands of King, who leaves it for Tay Donald. Donald, nice job defensively there to slow him up by Lou Williams. Hornsby steps back, 10 on the shot clock. Donald, 3 doesn't go. He didn't score in the game against Scarborough on Saturday. Montreal will hold for the last shot. Anderson, under 5 to go, steps back. 3 is no good. Rebound Hornsby. And that shot, even if it goes, would not count. And that is where we will end things through 20 minutes of play. It's a 48-37 Montreal lead. Not quite matching their largest lead of the game, which was 12, but a quarter that, again, as the Stingers' season seems to wear on, they just struggle to find levels of consistency that they can build on from quarter to quarter and game to game. Let's go now to Sarah Ryan, who's got Stingers post Isaac Jack.
That's right. Thanks, Doug. I'm here with Isaac. Isaac, 8 points, 5 rebounds for you. Pretty good half, but it's not working for the Stingers right now. What needs to change?
I think just guarding. We're able to score when we want to and everything, but it's just being able to guard, hold our own, and get stops here at the end of the set.
This is your first pro contract with the Stingers. What does it mean to you to be playing in the CEBL?
It means a lot. I'm from Canada, obviously. I kind of grew up watching this, so just getting an opportunity to be out here and playing everything, it's been awesome.
I understand your college coach and Coach Baker had a bit of a relationship. It helped kind of get you here. Can you talk about that?
No, I trusted my college coach, Dave Smart, and he trusted Jordan when he brought up this opportunity. I just jumped on it quick. Nothing good but good things to hear about him. So yeah, I'm very, very fortunate.
Excellent. All right, well, we'll let you get a rest. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you, Doug, Kira.
Thanks, Sarah and Isaac Jack. Good to hear that story and some other connections to Dave Smart in this game we'll try to get to as the game wears on. 48-37 at the half. The Alliance up on the Stingers. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Transition.
Hi there, I'm Ben Stevens. I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. I'm a center for the Montreal Alliance, and this is my second year back with the team. Being in CEBL for my journey, it's huge, right? Like, I'm super grateful, and I think, playing in such a talented league and such with great players, it's always beneficial for your career. For me, playing basketball in Halifax, it's a huge basketball community. Like, hockey's obviously number one in Canada, but I'd say basketball is competing out there for that top spot. Like, if you think about the U Sports and the Nationals, if they had Nationals in Halifax every single year, it'd be sold out, jam-packed. It's the number one venue. Basketball's a big thing in out east. There's not much exposure out there out east, especially growing up. Nowadays you got social media is popping, so if you got film, you're able to get noticed way easier. I think back then, growing up, it was a lot more difficult to get that exposure. You'd have to go, let's say, to those circuits down in the States, go to Ontario, play some tournaments and stuff. Out east, not much exposure. So you had to work a lot harder, communicate, reach out to people. That was a big deal. For me, the support from back home, it's been huge. Coming back to Halifax, getting to reconnect with those old coaches, needing gym time, reaching out to past coaches. I'm hitting them up and hey, can I come work out here? They're yeah, absolutely. And then just the love that I feel when I'm back home, it's amazing. So players from the East Coast, I think because there's so few of us that have made it to the professional level compared to Montreal or Toronto, Vancouver. There's a sense of pride and wanting to do right by your city and represent out east and give Halifax and all the maritime provinces, good name, good rep. So there's definitely, a sense of pride for us, for sure. Yeah, my basketball journey has been interesting, especially coming from U Sports and not having necessarily the most outstanding U Sports career. In my first 4 years, I think I averaged under 10 points and under 10 rebounds. And then my 6th year and 5th year of eligibility at La Laurier, I was able to average maybe 10 and 10. Lucky enough, had a connection down in Australia. My buddy Shadir Tenney, he gave me a great opportunity to meet some people and get some film out to the team in Bunbury, Western Australia. And luckily I got a great job and opportunity to go down there and kind of just propelled my career. Averaged 18 and 13 that first season, and then boom, it started snowballing. And then, yeah, from there I went on to Europe and Asia, and it was great. So it's my 4th year now, and I'm loving it so far. And it's really impressive, to go, because there's no respect for U Sports overseas. When I went overseas, they're like, Canada basketball, what's that? We just know D1, D2. It's a much bigger deal when you come from U Sports and go make it professionally over in Europe. I think you mentioned the development of players and the coaching in Canada, Ontario, Montreal, Halifax, it's unmatched. People are trying to prove a point that we are, just as good or if not better than the rest of the world.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
When Crystal Glass introduced our residential window line this past year, it was essential to manufacture them locally.
Crystal Glass has always been a proudly Canadian company.
We employ Canadians, we serve Canadians, and we are Canadians. So our windows are designed and built for our climate.
And since we've been the clear choice for glass for over 75 years, you can trust our quality and service.
Visit one of our over 50 locations across Western Canada or at crystalglass.ca. Financing is now available.
Lotto Max now has more?
Oh, yeah. Like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
At the half, 48-37, the Montreal Alliance leading the Edmonton Stingers from here at the Edmonton EXPO Center. I'm Doug McLean, she's Kira Lyons. Sarah Ryan keeping us running as well with all the great interviews and discussion from around the court. Kira, that opening half, sort of a tale of what the Stingers season has been. Moments of flash where they look really settled and good, and moments where they just look very flat. They cannot seem to find a level that they can really build with and run on.
Yeah, and I think the way that the Stingers have played under Baker for, however many years he's been the head coach now, and even before that, because Small also loves to play with pace and push the basketball, when they slow down and they don't generate any offense from their defense, they struggle. Like when their defense is flat, when they're getting scored on, when they're not getting touches, they're not able to get out in transition and just play, they struggle. They don't have a, like we talked about earlier, like a Moon and East anymore that's that ISO guy, that go-to guy when you need a bucket. They don't really have that right now, or they haven't sort of figured out who that is if he's in their lineup. So they need to move the basketball. They need to be hunting down that shot a little bit better and playing with pace and with speed. And right now, they're not getting stops. They're getting scored on too often, and then they can't generate offense from their defense. And I think that that's super important.
Well, we mentioned the points off turnovers. Not a ton of turnovers, which is a good sign for the Stingers. But again, when every turnover you make is resulting in a run out and a bucket the other way, that's a bit of a challenge for Edmonton as we take a look at some of their highlights from the opening half. And one thing that stood out to you that you were mentioned before we went back on air, 22-12 bench points right now in favor of Montreal. And actually for the Stingers, bench points have been a real key for them over the course of the season. And in the games where they have had successful runs from their bench, it's led to wins, 43-24, 52-17, 26-2 bench points in their wins. Right now, 22-12, again, we don't mean to beat this to death, but they're just not getting the production from their depth the way they might need to right now.
Yeah, that actually really surprised me because I thought that it was coming from their bench that was getting some points. Like Isaac Zach has 85 right now. He's coming off the bench. So to see that they've only got 12 is really surprising. And yeah, a huge part of their success has always been being able to use their depth and go to guys on the bench. And I think I've heard people say they had the best bench in the league at one point, and so they need to kind of get back into that. Because yeah, 22-12 isn't it?
Let me take a look at some of the numbers from the first 20 minutes of action. Montreal shooting the ball really well. Edmonton struggled in that second quarter, and both teams not shooting the ball really well from long range like we discussed earlier. Rebounds relatively even. But those shooting numbers, it's tough to win with those kind of digits.
Yeah, I mean, when you're getting outshot from the three by a team shooting 20%, that's not great news. It's one thing, like go back to the key player like Scotty Lindsay. He is a guy that can knock down shots and shot selection as well. Not saying that all of their threes have been bad decisions. They're just missing seems like a lot of short, honestly, like hitting front rim. But shot selection also not great at times. And so when you're not getting really good in-out looks that are in rhythm, in range, there's something that you do, it's, you actually use some time on the clock, their percentage drops down significantly, and that seems to be a bit of a curse for the Stingers over the last couple of games, is just choosing and hunting for the correct shot.
Isaiah Moore leads the Stingers with 9 points, 3 players with 7. Anderson, Bukar, and Williams leading the way for Montreal. We're going to step out for another break. Here at half, 48-37, the Stingers trail the Alliance. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Don't let rideshares take a big share of your travel budget. Park for as low as $50 per week with Jet Set Parking. Jet Set is located minutes from the terminal with 24/7 shuttle service. Use promo code SIMPLE at jetsetparking.com/YEG.
Get rewarded every time you travel with YEG Plus. Earn 1 point for every $1 you spend, including parking, shopping, and dining at Edmonton International Airport. Sign up at YEGplus.com/join today. It's free.
All right, sticks in the middle.
Can I join you guys? All right, let's go.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
redtag.ca.
I'm here with Coach Jermaine Small of the Montreal Alliance, the most successful coach in CEBL history. And of course, we know that here in Edmonton because he won 2 championships with the Stingers. How does it feel to be back, Coach?
I always love coming back. There's a lot of familiar faces, and just being in here, it gives me a little bit of chill up my spine for sure.
You know, your team maybe not where you want to see them in the league at this point, but in this game, they're doing well. We heard you yelling with pace, with pace. Why is that so integral to your success?
Yeah, I just think sometimes, you know, the best shot you can get is when the defense is not set. And, you know, we just want to get more shots up and better looks. So I think we're doing a good job of that.
Talk to us about another Stingers connection, Davian Warren. What's he brought to the team since he joined?
Yeah, he brings like an energy on and off the court, and you know he's experienced. He's played in this league, so he knows what it takes, and he knows the schedule. So he's been nothing but really positive for us.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Coach Small. Appreciate it. Back to you, Doug, Kira.
Awesome, thanks, Sarah and Coach Small. Second most wins in CBL history with 54, only behind former Niagara coach Victor Razzo with 87. Kira, let's take a look at your 2 players that you wanted to watch from this game, and let's touch on how they done in the opening half.
Yeah, I mean, not the greatest numbers that I've ever seen, if I'm going to be completely honest, but kind of indicative of how the game's felt a little bit. I mean, Scotty Lindsay's got just under 10 minutes and no points, and the Stingers are really struggling offensively. So definitely need to step up, need him to knock down some shots and be a bit more of an offensive threat. And then Davian Warren, I think he had 2 points on the night. So I mean, at least
both
they're
of the line.
Yeah. So at least they're kind of canceling each other out. If I had to say, that was my takeaway from the key matchup. But I expect to see a lot more from both of them. Again, experienced guys that have been in the league, have done their time, and I expect a better second half out of the 2 that I highlighted. I hope, anyways, maybe.
Well, Warren just took 1 shot in the opening half. Scotty Lindsay took 5. He's 0 for 5, so not a great shooting half for him after a pretty hot start to the game Saturday night.
Shooter's got to shoot, so get him some good looks, move the basketball, you know, get a nice in-out 3 so we can see one go through the hoop and open it up for him.
I mean, when you have a player in a situation like that, let's use Scotty Lindsay as the example. I mean, he's a really key offensive player for the Stingers. when it's just one of those nights where it's not going, are you drawing things up for a player like that to get them going, or are you just kind of letting the game happen in front of them and let it roll the way that it naturally would?
Most of the time just trying to let it roll the way that it would, but it also depends on who it is. You know, some just need something to get them going, and others it's just like, you know, just let the game happen, let it come to you. Most of the time that's kind of where I err, is just let the game come to you. You know when it's a good shot, you know when it's not. Have good shot selection. If it's not falling, it's not falling. You can impact the game in so many other ways than just putting the ball through the rim. And you know, the gods will reward you for doing all of those small, hardworking things and the controllable stuff.
Underway here in the third quarter. This Western Conference game is presented by Cal Tire. Here is Bandamel. King. Long three doesn't go. Rebound into the hands of Nelson.
See, I don't know that that's what I would want. The opening shot to be a step back contested three after you shot 18% in the first half. Not my favorite.
Nelson to inbound. Finds Hughes, picked up by Moore. Back to Nelson, guarded by Tay Donald. Nelson finds the cutting Asawe and gets that one to roll home.
Well, that was like good physical defense there by Tay Donald, and then we just get face cut on the offside. Ball watching.
Here is Donald, lobs up. Moore trying to go over top of Hughes. Ends up hitting the deck. Numbers the other way for Montreal. Williams banks that one off the window, and it's now a 16-point lead for Montreal. Vandemel, three, doesn't fall. Donald, Lindsay for three, also a little bit strong. So the Stingers come out 0 for again from long range. They're now 3 of 20 on the night. Guerrier inside. Shot doesn't go when fouls away from the ball. Tay Donald and Michael Hughes got tied up. Donald is clutching his face.
I didn't see what happened on that side. Again, Isaiah Moore talking to the refs. Control what you can control.
Yeah, nice. I mean, Lou Williams and Michael Hughes both going over to check on Donald. Again, it was off ball, and they both ended up hitting the deck. And my money might be on Hughes in that contest. No disrespect to Tay Donald, but a little bit more size for Hughes. Comes in listed at 6'8", 240. Donald, on the other hand, 6'2", 180. Sawe, three, drops. Trey King right in his face. When it's dropping, it's dropping. Bandamel baseline, kick out to the corner. King, three, and that one goes, and that is a big bucket.
Much better in out. A great little look off by Bandamel too to open King up, gave him some time and space. Much better.
As much as we've suggested that the Stingers just right now don't necessarily have that player that can find them that spark, Bandamel has been the one player that's been able to kind of get them rolling. See if he can do that again here today. No look pass as the ball was going out of bounds. Scotty Lindsay collects it, ends up 5 feet from the rim and floats it in.
Playing with a little bit of pace. Some energy on defense here, getting some stops.
Williams with a step back jumper, it goes. Lindsay, the ball. Moore left alone as the ball squirted open to him. A missed assignment underneath by the Alliance. Barthélemy directs traffic with Bandamel guarding him. Hughes bodies his way right at Moore. A little bit of bully basketball there.
There's not a whole lot you can do when he starts doing that. Needs some help from the guard, dig in, send a second body.
Donald off balance, doesn't go. Hughes deflects that one away, and Saway gets it back. Barthélemy left wide open. Donald with the board, quickly up. Here's Bandemel. Hughes is back. Bandemel goes right at him. No call. Layup for Bandemel. And he helps up Michael Hughes.
Tried the Nick Hornsby, but not quite as good at it.
Barthélemy, nice pass inside. Hughes thought he got fouled. No call. Ball nearly turned over. Oh, a good look by Donald. Knew he was in trouble, and Isaiah Moore runs the floor and finishes it to get the Stingers within 12.
Smart play by Tay Donald. Just lost the handle a little bit, just knew that he had to get the ball any way that he could to the middle. Nice play.
Williams. Saway. Now Hughes kicks it out. Guerrier dumps it back inside. Drew a couple defenders and drew the eyes of the Stingers.
Ball watching.
And the lead at 14 is restored for Montreal. Nearly turned over. Bandemel. King steps out of bounds. As Boucard, Warren, and Anderson will check in for Montreal. Hornsby, Nuga, and Boursier come in for Edmonton. Edmonton, your summer plans just got serious. Join us for multiple special edition theme nights throughout the season. Purchase today at thestingers.ca/tickets or by scanning the QR code. I don't know if there is we had Filipino night on Saturday. I'm not sure if it's, we thought it might be Tiny Human night tonight because we had a lot of very, very cute dancers out on the floor before the game and at halftime. So I don't know if it's officially Tiny Human night, but
super cute human night.
Yeah, well, that sounds better than Tiny Human night. Let's go with that.
Three of the subs that came in, definitely guys that need to be offensive threats. And Scotty Lindsay, Nuga, oh man, it continues. And Nick Hornsby, all no points in the first half, and that's just not good enough for the Stingers. They have to be contributing on the offensive side, and they're struggling.
Moore with the turnover. That'll be his first turnover of the night. Anderson in some trouble. Banks the ball off of one of the Stingers players out of bounds, and that will lead us into the third quarter break. Stingers trying to battle their way back. They trail by 14, 62-48 from here at the Edmonton EXPO Center. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Score! Big savings on parking at YEG. Use promo code STINGERS to save 20% on airport parking with Jet Set Parking. Affordable parking just minutes from the terminal. Book online at jetsetparking.com/YEG and use code STINGERS to save. Level up your game. Jet Set Parking has partnered with Edmonton International Airport for their new loyalty program, YEG Plus. Jet Set Parking at YEG Plus, a winning way to start your vacation.
Doug McLean, Kira Lyons, and Sarah Ryan on the call here from the Edmonton EXPO Center. 4:25 to go in the third quarter. 62-48, the Alliance lead the Stingers, and they basically held this lead. The Stingers have pushed back a little bit in this third, but Montreal's had an answer just about every time.
Oh, I wasn't on air there. Yeah, answering your question to nobody. Yeah, they can't seem to get within sort of that 10, and I feel like sometimes that's the most exhausting deficit to play a whole game at, because you're right there, but you never feel in control, and that's kind of how this game has been the entire time. Kind of dug themselves a bit of a hole and then haven't been able to get within reach yet.
Davian Warren still can't get on the mark as Boursier with a hand in his face contests that shot. Now Hornsby. Nice little move inside as he works against Trent Johnson, first-year player out of Houston Christian. Hornsby on the board.
And that's something we need from him. Like we talk about maybe not necessarily having that guy, but Hornsby is that guy in so many other ways as well. Like not just because he can score the basketball, but he does so many other good things. And so I like to see him come to life.
Here's Warren, picked up by Moore to his left. Davian Warren in traffic, and he'll be fouled. Stingers lead the league in fouls per game and also draw the fewest fouls per game in the CEBL.
Which is such a weird stat.
Of course, that leads to them being at the line the least in the league and their opposition being at the line the most. So, but then on the flip side of that, Montreal, the worst free throw shooting team in the league, as we alluded to earlier. So it has not been a key factor so far in this game. Edmonton at the line 3 of 7. Or sorry, Montreal 3 of 7, I should say. So again, not shooting well. Edmonton just 3 trips to the free throw line here so far in this ballgame.
Yeah, and I think that
Jalen Anderson with the 3.
That says a lot about offensive aggression, right? Like you get to the line because you're aggressively attacking the rim or you're aggressively going after rebounds, and if you're not getting to the line, it usually is indicative of lack of aggression that way. And I do think that, again, that tends to be a problem for the Stingers offensively. They get into the half court and they're sort of running things, but nobody wants to be the one to actually do it. But then when they do decide to do it, it's a bad shot selection oftentimes. So it's a tough problem to solve.
The Hornsby, the quick little jump hook over Guillaume Boucard. Guerrier. Defended by Moore. Moore got a hand on the ball, got a hand on the arm. As Isaac Jack and Baz Davis Jr. to check into the game for Vandemel and Moore.
I'm glad that Jack is back. He was one of the most productive players in that first half. 8 points, 5 rebounds, and just an energy that he brings. I mean, I feel like I'm so biased now. He's one of my favorites, but he was really effective in that first half, and so I'm excited to see him back on the floor.
First shot goes. Bring your crew and experience game day like never before. Get Alliance tickets by scanning the QR code or by visiting alliancemontreal.ca/tickets. On suggère d'acheter des billets pour les Jeux de l'Alliance de Montréal. Je n'ai pas le ad read complete ici, mais en tout cas, there you go. There's a little French. We'll throw that in for everyone listening back in Montreal.
I'm so impressed.
Hornsby, little press shown here by the Alliance. Boursier loses it, and it will go off of Anderson out of bounds. 15 on the shot clock. Nougat inbound. It's a back from Jack. Davis, little fake to Jack. Shot blocked and deflected by Hornsby. Could not quite catch up to it as it rolled out of bounds. That'll be Montreal ball.
Cute little interaction there, Hornsby, and I think a kid sitting on a dad's lap, ball went right to him, so that was kind of nice.
Good strong take down the lane by Hughes, recipient of the feed, and shot doesn't go, but he'll go to the line for a pair. Third foul on Baz Davis Jr. Really the only player on either team in foul trouble at all. Hughes a 67% free throw shooter. This is the second. Jack with the rebound. Hornsby guarded by Boucard. Jack tried to deflect it out, ends up right in the hands of Anderson. It's back up the floor. Nuga guarding him. Turnaround jumper, soft touch, falls for Jackson, Tennessee native Jalen Anderson. Davis tried to get it to Jack. Another turnover for the Stingers, and we're going to foul here on Nick Hornsby. That'll put the Stingers in the penalty. No fouls so far in this third quarter for Montreal. Which can say lots of things, but it often says to what you were talking about earlier, it's a lack of going downhill, going to the rim.
Yeah, well, they've turned the ball over so much in this quarter, too, especially in the last few minutes. Like, they're not even giving themselves an opportunity. But still odd to not have any fouls in almost a full quarter. Even just by fluke, somebody gets hit in the face or something. but yeah, it does. It definitely can say a lot about your offensive aggression, too, so.
Fast break points right now, 18-11 in favor of Montreal. So what worked in that game a couple weeks back, where the Stingers did start to get out in transition in the second half against Montreal, just has not been replicated so far here tonight in Edmonton.
You need to get stops if you're going to run out. And, well, I mean, you could still transition teams on makes too, but it just takes that extra level of intensity and focus and being able to have that mental switch. But for the most part, you have to be getting stops to be able to run out in transition, and they're just not doing that.
And there's a foul for the moving screen on Isaac Jack. Hornsby will check out. King into the game. Nelson. Screen there from Hughes. Nearly lost it working against Davis. That's going to be an offensive foul for wrapping around, and now we're going to get a technical foul as Davis Jr. kind of stripped the ball after the whistle, and then Nelson didn't like it and zipped the ball at Davis. So quickly teed up. We had 8 on Saturday, so it took us a while today to get to 1.
Oh, it makes the game so boring. Just get over it, please. I can't have another technical heavy game. It's not fun as a spectator to watch that. It gives me anxiety as a coach as well. So knock it off.
Trey King, a 75% free throw shooter, will take the technical for the Stingers, and he's short on that one. It has not been a good night at the line for either team. Stingers 6th in the CEBL, 75%. Last year were the best free throw shooting team in the league, just under 80%.
But also didn't get to the line very often.
No, they were. There was a similar problem last year to this year in terms of trips to the line.
It's even more important that you shoot the ball really well.
Davis to his left. Elbow fakes it, kick out corner, King. In and out, rebound Jack. The left hand, a little strong, won't go. Now Nelson. Had numbers momentarily, but we'll slow it up. Finds Anderson, guarded by Scotty Lindsay. Anderson, short corner jumper, falls into the hands of Isaac Jack. Here's Davis Jr. Kick out, King. A little bit of an extra step before the ball hit the floor. Another turnover. And it will be Montreal basketball. And then Asawe into the game now, replacing Guillaume Boucard.
They just start getting a little bit of rhythm, some of their offense, and then kill their own momentum.
And credit to Montreal. I mean, they have not allowed those runs to continue, and we've seen it here many times over the years where this crowd can really get into things, and Montreal has really taken the Stingers crowd out of it. So credit to them for the steadiness of their play here so far tonight. Hughes does some damage to that rim, draws a foul as he collected the loose ball and just one step and hammered it home. The foul will go on Trey King. That's his second. Jack and King will come out of the game. Bandamel and Moore back in. Now Guillaume Boucard will check. And we mentioned some of the other connections to Dave Smart and Carleton. Well, there's one. Guillaume Boucard played 5 years at Carleton, and he only won 5 U Sport titles because that's what you do. And they won another one this past season after being quiet, let's say, for a couple of years. So Guillaume Boucard played under Dave Smart.
5 is such an absurd thing to be a part of. That's so crazy.
Just an incredible run. Boucard, the CEBL Canadian Player of the Year back in the inaugural season of 2019, and still going strong here in 2026. But yeah, it's as the clock winds down, the look there from Barthélemy won't go. But a lot did for Montreal as they build their edge to 21 points, 75-54. They lead the Stingers heading to the fourth quarter. You're watching CEBL basketball from here in Edmonton live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Did you know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team's score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91-80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
Here in Edmonton, 75-54, the Alliance leading the Stingers. Doug McLean along with Kira Lyons and Sarah Ryan bringing this one to you. And now it's time for Cruise of the Game, presented by Cal Tire. Tay Donald setting up by Isaiah Moore. In a night that has not had necessarily a ton of highlights for the Stingers, that was one. And no one, including Isaiah Moore, have really gotten on track offensively in this game, although Moore, I'd say a quiet 15 points in some ways. Here is the aforementioned Moore from the corner shot. The three does not drop. And another leak out by Hughes.
Communication.
Puts it down. And how many times have we seen that tonight?
Just the lack of communication defensively with some of these lineups is incredibly detrimental. And then again, like they play so much better when they play with pace, when they're out in transition, and when you don't even get a chance to play defense because they're just throwing the ball over your head for an easy two, like makes that really hard to generate any offense from that.
Certainly one of the big stats that pops out through 3 quarters is the points off turnovers, 15-6 in favor of Montreal, 11 Edmonton turnovers, 9 Montreal turnovers. A shot short, well guarded by Scotty Lindsay. Montreal third in the league in turnovers created per game at 15. There's a bump and a chance at a 3-point play for Nick Hornsby. Foul will go on Ant Nelson.
And just smart positional play. Nick Hornsby knew that he was out of position, initiated that contact, found a way to cash the bucket as well.
Jermaine Small, just a minute 15 into this fourth quarter, will call timeout.
I would love to listen to that timeout, honestly. Oh, there we go. Sarah's going to check it out. She can relay.
Our eyes and ears in the timeout.
Like what have we uncovered in the last minute and 15 that we, because like I, for the most part, not a huge timeout person. Like don't like to call them unless I have to. I like the players, the girls to be able to sort things out on the floor, but I am super interested about like, you know, what was on his mind that he needs to talk about it so quickly.
Well, one thing that's gone well, and we hinted at it a little bit early in the game, of course, with Javon Freeman-Liberty not on the roster. Where was the scoring going to come from, and would it be a little bit of scoring by committee? And so far tonight, it really has been that. 4 players in double figures. Sawe, Anderson, Hughes with 12 apiece. Lou Williams with 10. So, and that's through 3/4 of play, so they've added to that a little bit since. But that's probably what they're going to need to do for the moment as they too start to sort out their lineup and their rotations with Freeman-Liberty no longer with the team.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of rediscover their identity, especially offensively, because he was averaging, what, 20 points a game, I think, for them?
That's right.
And they were still not scoring very many points a game. Like in the 80s, one of the lower ones in the league.
That last at 86, yeah.
Yeah. So with him not being available anymore to add those 20 points, like it becomes critical for other guys to step up for it to be a score by committee.
You wanted to know what Coach Smalls was saying there?
I did.
He really likes the matchup on Hughes right now. So he wants them to get the ball into Hughes as much as they can. He feels he's got, in this case, more beat defensively.
One, he's kind of had whoever's on him, honestly. He's a big, strong guy. And so they have to make adjustments when they are able to get the basketball into him because he's just kind of imposing his will on whatever matchup they throw at him. So I don't disagree, but thank you for relaying that. I was really interested to know what needed to be talked about.
You see Moore trying to front Hughes earlier in the possession. Steal for Edmonton. It's going to be a foul on Anderson. If we look at the numbers, and you always have to take the numbers they put in the media kits in terms of size with a bit of a grain of salt. So I'll give these ones out. 6'8", 240 for Michael Hughes. For Isaiah Moore, they list him at 6'10", 197. So Moore giving up a couple inches, but a little bit more girth to him, and we've seen that, and he moves extremely well for a big man.
He just bullied him into a spot where he can be successful, even with Moore's length. But he's at a double-double right now already. He's got 12, at least 12 and 10, because he's definitely scored. Or at least I think he has. In this quarter, so he's at a double-double already.
Shot block.
Good hustle.
Hornsby on the floor. Tie up. It will be Montreal ball. Boucard checks back into the game. He was now 6 of 8 from the field, 14 points, 10 rebounds. So double-double for him. Quincy Guerrier 2 points away from a double-double. Anderson, well guarded there by Donald. That three short. Donald will keep it alive for Hornsby. Tries to push it up the floor. Leaves it for Lindsay. Pull up three. He draws a foul and will head to the line. The 3 shots there.
Well, and I was a little worried there. He must have known that he was out of position, going to foul him on that, or else it's a pretty tricky shot. But I think going to the line, seeing the ball go through the hoop a little bit, maybe it'll get him going. Late, better late than never, right? So knock these 3 down, and then let's get him some good open looks down the stretch.
Montreal Lions will now stay in Alberta, but they'll head to Lethbridge for their 3rd game on the road trip at the visitlethbridge.com arena, as the Calgary Surge will host the Alliance for their first meeting of the season on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain. And for the Stingers, they will take to the road for the next game when they head to the Canada Life Centre to take on Teddy Allen and the Winnipeg Seabears. There might be another guy playing in that game too. We'll mention him in a sec. But they'll take on the Seabears this Saturday at 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain. And that other player, very familiar to people here, both coaches, Xavier Moon, and making his return from Russia and landed, I believe, in Winnipeg today.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Like, the league is getting so incredibly good. You've got Moon in Winnipeg. Creek just re-signed and showed up back in Vancouver. Really strong pool of players this year, and it's going to be super strange to see Moon in a teal jersey and not a yellow one. It'll take some getting used to for sure, but exciting stuff.
Foul goes on Tate Donald, his third. Three-point play finished, 80-61. The Alliance up on Edmonton. Here's Bandemel. Screen from Moore. Works to his left, cut off, finds Moore. Puts it immediately on the floor. Little finger roll goes. And technical foul called on Isaiah Moore, who I think had something to say to Perry Stothert as he finished that layup.
Yeah,
and now Bukar will head to the line.
Could see that coming for a bit. He's all over the refs tonight, in their ears.
Sort of run out of bounds, and then just a quick little something to Perry Stothert. Free throw missed, so now we'll inbound the ball from under the baseline. Better free throw shooting night for Montreal, 10 of 15, so still 66%, but better than their season average. Warren at the elbow, jumper off the glass. We've seen a ton of those off the window from long range tonight.
And like, I couldn't see Davion Warren's feet, so I don't know if he traveled there when Bandemel was calling for it, but like, you gotta play it out. And then he gets the ball back and he hits a jumper in your face. Like, it's given me so much anxiety watching this kind of stuff happen these last two games. They gotta be tougher.
Tay Donald will head to the line. 56% at the free throw line on the year. Continues to see his minutes go up. Averaged about 4 points a game last year for Edmonton, up around 7 this season. Coming off his pro year in Finland with Tapiola and Honka. Yeah, I do speak French, but I don't speak Finnish, so there's going to be no discussion on how he played in Finland in Finnish. Although I'd like to learn Finnish. I think it's the best accent going anywhere. Ball out of bounds, it will remain Montreal basketball. Bukar able to kind of sneak in behind Edmonton. Thought there'd be a foul. He got Bandemel up on his back, but no call.
Yeah, a little confusing, no foul, but then it was also Stingers with the ball, but I thought there was definitely some contact.
Hornsby in traffic. Shot blocked, and now Guerrier up the floor. Finds Bukar. Kick out, extra pass. Now Guerrier. Lots of time on the shot clock for Montreal. Time their friend right now. Up 18. Bukar, 3. Little strong. Rebound by Williams. And then he overhandled it a little bit. Ball ends up out of bounds. Jermaine Small imploring his team to get back defensively. Moore, runner, twice off the back iron, and it would not fall through the mesh. Bukar up ahead again. I have not seen that many times a player get behind another team defensively in a long, long time, and it's happened numerous occasions.
Yeah, their communication again with like whoever's back on safety, or if whoever it was that took the shot at the top, whatever it is non-existent. And so that baseball pass over the top has been an option far too many times.
And Isaiah Moore on that lob, cannot put it down. It will be Montreal basketballs that went out of bounds off him. And we're saying, leave me in, but Jordan Baker wants him out. Probably give him a bit of a breath before target score time. Points in the paint, dead even so far in this game. 42 apiece, second chance points, dead even so far at 14 apiece. Biggest difference statistically is points from turnovers. 15-6 in favor of Montreal. Lindsay, 3. A little short. Davis Jr. with the rebound.
It's been an off night for Scotty Lindsay with those threes. He is 1 for 5. That's 20%. Coming into this game, he was at 60%, the league leader in threes. As a team, the Stingers are 4 for 23 on three-point attempts tonight.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. Missing short a ton. I don't know, like mid-season, a little bit worn, a little bit tired, I'm not sure, but it seems to be a lot of front rim missed threes tonight by the Stingers.
And a team that has shot it relatively well all season, 4th in the league, just under 37%. The Stingers' schedule has been relatively balanced. They haven't played a lot of 2 games in 3 days kind of thing. They've had it relatively well spread out, and that'll continue. Game on the 20th, 24th, 28th, and then here on Canada Day, so some rest in between. Warren explodes to the rim. Offensive rebound, Gary puts it up. Shot contested by Jack, and now we're going to get a foul on Montreal. And Jermaine Small, be aggressive. We heard pace the word of the first quarter, and now be aggressive is the phrase of the fourth. And Isaac Jack earns himself a trip to the free throw line. A chance to cut into this deficit before we head to target score time. And there's that explosion to the rim by Warren. We saw a lot more of that on Saturday, just that battle for loose balls from Edmonton. And Isaac Jack was at the middle of a lot of them Saturday, and he's at the middle of a lot of them again here tonight.
Well, I think Edmonton's had a lot of missed opportunities with like 50-50s. Like there's been a few, I mean, a couple that Jack has tipped right into Alliance's hands, but there's been other ones where they're getting hands on it, they're getting touches on it, and Montreal seems to be coming up with most of those. It's positioning and also just desire to have the basketball, I think. But yeah, a lot, and Isaac Jack in the middle of that always, like just working hard on the glass on both ends. He's such a big body, such a long wingspan, and good nose for the ball.
Speaking of big bodies, Quincy Guerrier just bowls his way to the low block against Nick Hornsby. Hornsby with the foul, that'll be his third. That'll send Guerrier to the line. 35% free throw shooter for the now leading.
35?
Yes, for the now second leading scorer on this Montreal team with Freeman Liberty. His 20 points a game gone. Guerrier in and out on that one.
Might do some hack-a-shack and play these guys at times.
Not bad tonight, 2 of 4. Now 3 of 5. Gary, who has represented his country, played the 2025 FIBA AmeriCup qualifiers, actually led Canada in minutes per game in that qualifying tournament. Over 25 minutes in the 4 contests. Davis Jr. Nice lunge to the rim for the layup.
Edmonton need to try and really close this gap. Need to stop here. Try and get that score as close as possible before target time.
Next score will take us to target score time. Gary turns it over. Davis Jr. ended up with it in his hands and then spins it. Oh, nice. English on that ball. And horn goes, but it should not have gone. There was no Whistle should not have gone. There is no stoppage in play, so the play will continue. We are not in target score time yet. So inadvertent whistle. But now Jermaine Small is going to call a timeout, so that will send us to target score time. All right.
Yeah, Baker upset with that. That's what it led to.
So the target score will be set at 93. The Alliance up 84-73 on the Stingers from here in Edmonton. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it's your host, Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian hoops. Two hands, me. Oh, what a block from behind.
Next bucket wins. Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama.
And anything can happen. Oh my goodness! Can you believe this guy?
Big players step up in big time. He is cooking.
Back inside here at the Edmonton Expo Center, and we just want to clarify something here. I mean, that there was an inadvertent whistle right before. Jermaine Small has the right to call a timeout, but target score time is actually officially not yet set at 93. The next play will create it. So just to set that, from what we understand from talking to the crew chief Perry Stothard. So we are not yet officially in target score time.
I think Coach Small is upset with that. I think he thought that taking that timeout would push them into target time because of the inadvertent whistle didn't count, but that's not the case. It'll be the next play.
Nice put back there by Hughes. 86-73. Lindsay, that one well off the mark. We had a great look at it. And now we will be heading to target score time. So the target score will be set at 95, considering the fact that the Alliance are up 86-73. So there's the clarification for a bit of an odd situation that went on, but nonetheless, target score is 95, and the Stingers are going to have to find some offense pretty quickly to get themselves back into this one.
It feels very fitting that that all happened, and then it was an air ball three that then extended the lead for the Alliance. Just feels like that's how it is for Edmonton tonight, because my goodness, are they struggling from beyond the arc. And again, a lot of that is shot selection. Like, that was a very contested early three. Like, there needs to be something better that we can get, and it just, they continue to make bad decisions with their shot selection, especially beyond the arc. But
so, I mean, when we look at the Stingers over the course of the last two games against Scarborough and here against Montreal, offense has been a challenge in both. When you've seen them play well offensively in those two games, what have they been doing to drive that good offensive play?
Downhill, being aggressive, downhill, everybody's an attacker. You either force a rotation or a collapse on the offside, and then those threes are in-out threes. They're better passes right in the pocket. They're guys that are in rhythm. It's not off the dribble, especially early in the game. Like the step backs, the contested ones, like get a feel for it first, right? Like see the ball go through the hoop, get some confidence with some really high percentage threes, and then extend from there. But it seems like, I mean, one of the first shots that they took in the game was like a step back three, and they shot terribly on Saturday. So there has to be an awareness of like, where are we at right now? How can we generate some offense with the way that we're playing, and then let the game come to you. Don't force shots early. Don't force shots that are contested. Like, find something easy, move the ball, share it, hunt down the best shot, and then allow the game to go from the inside out, and like allow it to come to you. They're just forcing it right now.
You might expect that the Stingers were down in that brief break there. They are not. They said they are in it. They need to dig in. Coach Baker, 2 big stops on D. Well, that's 1.
Moore 3, and that one goes. I was just about to say they were 18% from 3-point range in the first half, and it dropped to 16% to this point. That one will help a little bit from Isaiah Moore. They now trail by 10. Williams. Go back to this matchup. Hughes on Moore. Cut by Bukar. Pass from Hughes. And Bukar will head to the line.
That's caused some problems for the Stingers, that offside face cut. After they send that double down into Hughes, they don't have that secondary rotation on the weak side, and they've been doing a pretty good job of taking advantage of that, either getting the ball for a layup, getting a rebound, or getting to the line.
Bukar is their best free throw shooter, 88% on the season.
The broadcasters.
I don't have a lot of talents, but I do have a talent for doing that. Just ask Mark Majot and how many poor university players I've caused challenges on. Bukar hits the second. I hadn't mentioned earlier, we had that at halftime, that good feature on Ben Stevens and him talking about his play at the U Sports level, and that's been something else. Obviously seeing a lot more good U Sports players coming up here and playing. Guillaume Bukar, another one, so certainly a big factor in the growth of the CEBL. Here is Davis on the floor. Floater, short, gets his own rebound, puts it back, doesn't go. Ball kept alive by Montreal, and then a foul on Davis, and that is going to send Montreal to the line.
I think that's his 4th as well. Yeah.
You are right.
Just too bad. He's one that has that aggression. He, wants to be able to attack. He's trying to go to the rim and create something. Like, I like his aggressive energy, both offensively and defensively.
Tough foul to take in this moment, though, where again it was 1-on-3. You weren't going to strip that ball back. And when you're already in the penalty, sending Montreal to the line is not going to help. Guerrier, again, we mentioned 35% shooter coming into the game, 3 for 5 tonight. He is short initially on that one, but it rolls and rattles its way in.
Yeah, tough to take that so far away from your own rim. You're over pursuing it. You had it. No need for that.
And Guerrier makes both. Lions now 15 of 22 at the line. Moore strong on that jumper. Davis Jr. can't grab the board. Here's Warren. Warren guarded by Nuga. 2 former Edmonton teammates. Gets it back from Hughes. Pull up 3 and an offensive foul will go on Hughes for that moving screen.
Yeah, he's arguing that it was his role.
Well, that's something I've seen them try to crack down a bit on that, because that's crept into the game where the roll becomes a continuation of the screen more than is generally allowed. Nuga, that triple ends up in the arms of Guerrier. Here's Anderson.
Nuga did a good job, trying to get around that screen, making it very apparent that he was moving too.
Guerrier offensive board against Hornsby. Hughes directs traffic. Hornsby bodies him up. Guerrier spins and then fade away. Jumper well short. Davis up ahead. Good job in defensive transition by Anderson. Keeps the ball alive. Excellent work there by Jalen Anderson. Warren takes a screen from Hughes. Loses it momentarily, finds Bukar, who gets hit from behind by Nuga and will head to the free throw line.
Again, that offside weak cut, and Bukar again, he's done that 3 or 4 times, and it's been really successful, getting him to the line, drawing fouls, scoring, like we're the offside defense ball watching and just getting cut to death.
Bukar has split his CEBL time between the Alliance and the Niagara River Lions. The Alliance 2 years ago, and then back with them this year. First free throw goes. He's got 12 points. to go on with 4 rebounds, 3 steals tonight. Carbon copy on the second free throw. Tay Donald into the game for Nuga. Here is Donald. Stingers need some scores and some stops. Davis. Good work. And the ball above the rim in FIBA, that is allowed. Good play there by Hughes.
Yeah, the crowd
Every time they always lose it, but that is perfectly legal and a smart play by Michael Hughes.
Yeah.
And every time Cale Schofield, the in-house host, always has to remind everybody.
I'm so glad that he does, because I'm tempted
it's great.
to look
It
back.
is good, and it's smart because it, again, just educate people on the rules. The NBA is very different. NCAA also different, though less different than FIBA in some respects. Moore ends up in behind Hughes, who kept the ball alive. Nice little dish from Guerrier to Williams, and a timeout called by Jordan Baker as the Alliance 2 points away from their 5th win of the season.
Yeah, 76 points. It's going to be really tough to beat anybody when you can't score the basketball.
And they'll be back. I mean, still time left for the Stingers to add to this and try to get themselves back in the game. But right now, 76 points, 78 they scored on Saturday. So the offense has certainly dried up. And this was a team last year. And again, I know there are a lot of different players on this roster, but this was a team last year, 3rd in the league in scoring. They averaged 94 a game, and right now they're under 90, and that number is going to drop again.
Yeah, and I think they just seem disconnected. You know, and that is transferring onto floor play. The ball's not moving. It's not the Stingers basketball that we're used to right now in these last 2 games for sure. So they've got some things to work on and sort through. They have the talent, they have the depth, they've got the pieces in my mind to be successful, but there's just something missing. The rhythm is off, and they got some things to work through.
Mentioned earlier in their 3 wins how much how much bench points played a factor in those 3 victories so far tonight. Bench points favoring Montreal, though Edmonton has closed the gap a bit, 40-25.
Still, the difference in the game, basically.
It's Anderson with 12, Bukar with 13. Isaac Jack, the only player with double figures off the bench for Edmonton. He's got 10.
And I was a little worried for Bukar at the beginning of that game. Knocked to the floor a couple times, had a bit of a rough start, but he stepped up, had a pretty effective game tonight.
Here is Hughes. Chance for Montreal to win this game. Gary up against Bandamel. Jumps over top of him and finishes it off. Montreal improves to 5-6 on the season. The Edmonton Stingers will fall to 3-6. And the Stingers will need to find some answers. 2 straight home losses for the Edmonton Stingers.
Yeah, some interesting exchanges here. It's kind of indicative of how I feel like these games have gone. But yeah, two tough losses. Was really hopeful that it would be, a bit more of a bounce back game for the Stingers. But it seems like they got some stuff to work through. But yeah, Montreal finding their new identity without Freeman, Liberty, and yeah, found a way to score by committee tonight and really suppress the Stingers offense, like to hold them to 76. As much as the shot selection and the Stingers need to have better offense, then you also have to credit the Montreal defense.
Now let's head over to Sarah, their player of the game, presented by Booster Juice. She's with Michael Hughes.
And I'm here with Mike Hughes. Mike, big game for you. I think 16 points, 12 rebounds. Your coach really liked your matchup. I imagine you did too.
I mean, we always love calling out what we like to see in the game. Today just happened to be my day, but the boys are blue. Everybody's ready to step up. It doesn't matter who it is.
Talk to me about how critical this win was for your team.
I mean, we've been having, ups and downs to where it's like we don't finish out the full 40. So, I mean, we've really been on each other as far as a team, now separate from the coaching staff to, handle our business and to be able to finish a game, put it together 40 minutes.
And you have been traveling a lot. You've played in Europe, you've played in Argentina. This is your first season in the CEBL. What do you like about being here?
I mean, I've only heard nothing but good things about Canada, especially as you become, you get years on your game, you got to experience some places, and Canada is definitely one of those places. You got to experience summertime basketball, to be around this energy from the east to the west. It's really nice. It's really nice to be here.
Excellent. Well, we're happy to have you. Thank you so much, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you. I'll see you next time.
All right. We will be back right after this break. You're watching CEBL basketball.
When Crystal Glass introduced our residential window line this past year, it was essential to manufacture them locally.
Crystal Glass has always been a proudly Canadian company.
We employ Canadians, we serve Canadians, and we are Canadians. So our windows are designed and built for our climate.
And since we've been the clear choice for glass for over 75 years, you can trust our quality and service.
Visit one of our over 50 locations across Western Canada or at crystalglass.ca. Financing is now available.
redtag.ca.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Welcome back to the Edmonton EXPO Center, where the Montreal Lions have knocked off the Edmonton Stingers 95-76. The next CEBL broadcast is live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central, as the Vancouver Bandits will tip off with the Winnipeg Seabears for the first time this season. Teddy Allen and Jalen House going head-to-head, fighting for top spot in the Western Conference. You can catch the action on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. And Kira, back-to-back games where the Stingers give up 95 points, and Saturday was 78, today was 76. We've talked a lot about the lack of offense. Let's talk a little bit about the defensive end and what Montreal did well offensively to subvert what Edmonton was trying to do.
I think defensively, the Stingers don't communicate enough. There was a lot of miscommunication. They'd end up rotating for, a double team on Hughes or being able to help in the post because there was that mismatch down low. And then they would be getting face cut from the offside or giving up rebounds and just a real lack of communication. And like we've talked about before, they're connected, right? Like your offense and your defense are connected. If you're not getting stops, and especially with the style of play that the Stingers are trying to do is play with pace and share the basketball, if you're not getting stops and you don't have those opportunities, then your offense struggles when your defense struggles. And so I think there seems to be a lack of trust or something going on where they're just not communicating with each other. There's a lack of rotation after the first help goes, and teams are too good. They're going to take advantage of those things and see them. And players like Picard, who really took advantage of that today and ended up with 13 points, like they needed guys to score in double digits, and they did that tonight.
Two players for the Alliance with a double-double. Quincy Guerrier, 13 points, 18 rebounds. Michael Hughes, our player of the game for Booster Juice, 16 points and 13 rebounds. For the Edmonton Stingers, they will try to get back on the winning track as they head to Winnipeg Saturday night to take on the Sea Bears, and Montreal, as we mentioned earlier, will head to Lethbridge to take on the Calgary Surge. On behalf of Sarah Ryan, Kira Lyons, our wonderful crew, keep everything running. I'm Doug McLean. Thanks for having watched tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening. The Alliance come out of Edmonton with a big win, 95-76 over the Stingers.
Time for some action.